Rocket Engines provides city and regional magazines with easy to use market intelligence tools. You'll find great ideas lightning fast that can drive new revenue and increase your revenue. So, looking at all these rockets, if I'm in the advertising department, where do I go? I recommend starting off by looking at the videos. The videos are going to give you ideas on how to use each specific rocket, and it's going to go into a lot more detail than we are going to go in here about how to do each rocket, and it just takes a few minutes. The email rocket would be the next place I go to, and the email rocket is a super cool tool. We are tracking over 60,000 different emails that have come in from city and regional magazines, over 100 publishers, from retailers to see how they're doing their design work to sell their products, and from some national magazines and a variety of other sources. So a great place to go to take a look at some of the best work that's out there. Now, one of the ways I would be looking at it is by category. So as you can see here, advertising comes up first. If you type in the word ads, it will bring in all these categories, or you can scroll down the list here to see how we have found dedicated newsletters dedicated to shopping or to be if it's travel, etc. So these might be some places you can look for a prospective advertiser, or perspective ways on how somebody else approached it, or just give you an ideas of maybe somebody in your marketplace that you can go after. So the ad category is a fun one to go down. So the another way is to go by publisher. So one trick is always hit the clear filters. You can go take a look at, going after that travel category once again. We can go see what D Magazine may have done with their D exclusive down here. And by clicking onto the image, it quickly brings up the email in a JPEG format. So this is not going to go anywhere. This is saved in our computer, in our network. And you have access to it. And this one was Soak Up the Sun This Winter at the Hyatt Regency. So it's a fantastic look at how they laid that out. Now, here's a nice secret. Be sure to use the view rendered email if you want to know more. Now we're in the HTML world, and this works more like like the email itself meant to be. So if I click onto this, or if that doesn't work, if I right click onto it, it should bring us to a landing page, unless that landing page is no longer active on D Magazine's website. So by clicking onto that, now we're going to go see where it brought us to, and here it brings you to the reservations for the Hyatt Regency. But there's always some great ideas that are on those landing pages that we want to get to. So when we're preparing some work for advertisers, we can come up with some new ideas. Now, another way to go use the tool is going back to the email rocket, is to go look at it by magazine. So if I'm looking at my newsletters and saying, okay, my dedicated newsletters, I may want to go find a different way to format them. You could be going from your favorite title to your favorite title. And one thing 5280 does pretty cool is, I love how they do their dedicated newsletters. They have 5280 selects, which means they can go in their database and select demographics and other information about people. But they also do a naming protocol for their sales, such as the goods, steal and deals. They have the getaways. So take a look at 5280, but that's what the email rocket should be doing for you, is quickly helping you find other ideas that other people are using. Now, another place to go find revenue on the email rocket is if you type in events. So we're tracking all these different events. Events Advertiser takes you down to what we believe were events that are being promoted by the magazine in dedicated newsletters for different advertisers. Or you can go over to the Events Rocket, and there's some cool stuff over there. You can scout out everybody's signature events. So what we have in the Events Rocket is, right now, it's over 600 different events that city and regional magazines have thrown in the last 2 years. We've identified what the event is, and we've categorized them by if it's a best of party, or burgers, or business, or charity, or food and wine or restaurants. We've narrowed down the selection so you can get down to some of the specific events. But if I'm in the advertising department, how I would be using this is in a couple different ways. One is I could do a quick search, and we could start a quick search where we can start looking here, in this case, the whiskey event. So let's say we have a whiskey event coming up, and I'm trying to think of some prospective sponsors. You can click right onto the 417 Whiskey Festival. Now we're seeing how it laid out. We see some of the sponsors at the bottom of the email, but we may want to go to the view rendered email, and that'll take us to the HTML. Once again, we're going now to their website and see how they're presenting their websites or how it's laid out. And if you like this layout and you think it would be important for your advertiser, this is something you could bring to another department as show them as an example that you like. Another key tool with that whole newsletter search is we are actually now going back through and creating a new tool, and that actually is back at the Email Rocket, where you'll see us for events. We are tracking sponsors that we feel, and we're having an advertising expert, Marianne Conicella, going through all these, is sponsors that actually that might be applicable to your marketplace that have sponsored an event. So it could be somebody like Celebrity Cruises has sponsored an event, and you can just go down to the advertising, any advertisers, and this will show you advertisers that have sponsored events. So that's another cool tool. One of the key challenges too is if I have an advertiser, it's getting the right, making sure your marketing department has a right subject line for, one of your prospective newsletter advertisers. So this will give you a bunch of different ideas on subject lines that might be useful to you. And finally, a couple of the other key areas to go to is be sure to keep your eyes on, go to the Top 100 Rocket. Let's say I found some great ideas. I could go here and go find the staff who might be able to help me, talk through the ideas. So if Austin Monthly had a great idea, you can click on the staff and it will take you to their staff page. And now I can quickly look up, who might be in the right account director or the digital sales manager, etc. You can get to the right person to send them an email. Another thing in the Top 100 Rocket is how do the magazines present the advertising on their website. So if we look at Our State, I thought they did a kind of a cool thing where they actually have a video of who they are and with the resources that are available to you. So you can go down vertically down that column to look for better ideas on how maybe you can improve on your website to make it easier for your advertisers. A couple other areas that you might be involved with: custom publishing. We're tracking who has custom publishing information on their website. Or the big money maker, as we know, is directories. And directories is showing everybody we can find that we're able to find their directory links on their websites. And we all know that D Magazine does a phenomenal revenue through their directories. And if I'm a directory person or trying to sell that, I might come in here for some additional ideas. So that's your Top 100 Rocket. Tools is going to be, we're going to be adding to this as time goes on, as we hear back from you, things that might be useful to you. Like, here for the audience development department, we have a subscription rocket. We're creating a newsletter branding rocket. We're going to be creating other rockets or other resources for you to be able to quickly go to that might be able to use. So if you ever can think of something like that, reach out to us that you might want a tool that we can develop for you. And then finally, the Great Ideas Rocket. And the Great Ideas Rocket is the archive for all those newsletters that we are sending out every week. We're sending out newsletters that are specifically about advertising that should be coming to you. If not, contact us. So this is a place to go see where all those great ideas might be in one place in case you haven't received some of the newsletters or you didn't have a chance to read them yet. And it's a great money making area because you'll see these newsletter topics, and they're just short, quick 1 minute, 2 minute reads just to inspire some ideas that you can quickly click on there and read up more about it. If you like the idea, you might be able to go back to the staff of the magazines that you see the idea and contact them. Or I highly recommend the CRMA the group. That when you go to your CRMA group, there's a lot of if you've seen some great ideas, you should discuss it with them and just tell everybody you found it on Digital Rocket Engines. And speaking of great ideas, if you have any great ideas that you want to share, something that you've done that you think is really cool or important that other city and regional magazines should know about, would love to publish some of those great ideas in our newsletters. Just feel free to reach out to us on the contact page, or if there's any way we can help you, please reach out to us and we're happy to help.